I fucked up. Oh.
I have a bowl of milk.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's just leftover milk.
It's not chocolate?
From oh, you can't see it because I screamed.
Ah, fuck my
it
mute.
up.
I did unmute it and then it remuted.
Oh, you were eating cereal before we started?
Yeah.
Cereal?
Oh, nice.
How old are you? You're older than I
I
am.
love cereal. It's delicious.
I do love cereal.
And you don't drink the milk after you're done with the cereal?
I do. I just couldn't finish it.
What was it?
Because
What cereal?
we were starting. So
What kind of cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Ooh.
Oh, you're muted.
I'm not anymore. It was, but it's not anymore.
So you missed the whole cereal talk,
Might be a
guys.
short delay. No.
No, I heard him.
That was from before the cereal talk. I feel like we talk about cereal way too much. Like I think I've talked about cereal in like 3 different streams in the past couple of weeks. But welcome back to the Nerded 2.
Oh shit! I didn't know we were live.
We're live.
I didn't know you went live.
Yeah, we've been live
Holy
since
ship.
I'm muted.
Hey guys,
when I put the Jameson up, that's when you went live on accident.
Oh my God.
I went live since he was Vanna Whiting the fucking Jameson bottle. We're back. It's Friday. I'm tired. This is my 3rd stream today, so I'm a little bit
Jesus.
Hey,
just fucking beat up, but we're gonna do it. We are reviewing 2 movies, Se7en and Shutter Island. Giovanni's gonna go ahead and take it and let us know stuff about the movie.
with Brad Pitt.
7. So
It's
it's funny that
all
you mentioned
sausage
the
on
actor's name. I'm not good with actors' names, so I'm sitting there finishing up the movie, and my wife comes in. She's like, "What'd you just watch?" And I'm like, 7. She's like, "Oh, who's in it?" I'm like, Angelina Jolie's husband. She's like,
From
Brad
like
Pitt. I was
15
like, yeah,
years
that guy.
ago.
I was like, I did say ex-husband. Then I was
Billy
like,
Bob Thornton?
and the guy who played God. She's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, the black guy who played God." She's like, "Morgan Freeman." I'm like, "Yeah, that guy." I was like,
Out of
and,
all of his movies, though, you reference it from Bruce Almighty.
That's the one.
For fuck's sake.
and she's like, "Who else is in it?" I was like, "And the guy who likes little boys and technically raped one." She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, from House
Kevin
of Cards." She's like,
Spacey.
"Oh, Kevin Spacey." I was like, "Yeah."
Holy shit.
Mass
I muted. Between the 3 of these fucking people, you know the plethora of movies you could have named?
I know. Those are the ones I remember.
Like,
those.
it must have taken you more energy to be like, the dude who rapes the fucking pervert guy. Like, there's no way in fuck that's easier than being like any
then
one of
she-
Spacey's movies.
She bitches at me. She's like, "Your references are all wild." I was like, "Yeah, but you got every one of them." So
That is true. That's on both of you, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
now. You're both a little fucked.
She encourages it in a way that she shouldn't.
Oh no.
So we're starting with 7. This movie was
7
made
what?
in. I thought this movie was made, way later than it was. It was made in 1990. Well, released in 1995.
Yeah, it's an early
released
film.
much later.
I mean,
Yeah,
look how
it's
young
really
Brad Pitt
early.
is, though.
Yeah, he's very
Oh
young
my
looking.
God, yeah.
Like, this is, I believe, younger than Fight Club Brad. Fight Club was
I think so.
97, 98, maybe?
Was
So
it?
this is before Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt.
Rectum, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he started off like this, and now he's old man hippie Brad Pitt.
He is.
Although I will say, in his later career, he did do Fury, which is a badass fucking movie, and he's a badass fucking character in that movie. In 5 of the greatest movies of all time, and you bring up Bruce Almighty, UTA says, yeah, Bruce Almighty is what you fucking choose. I agree.
It's a good movie. I like it.
He does have a good voice of
Shawshank.
God.
So this movie had a $33 million budget, grossed in the U.S. and Canada just over 100 mil,
Oh,
and then worldwide over
Worldwide.
300 mil. So not
it's a
too bad.
success, yeah.
Yeah, not too bad at all.
What's in the
It's a
fucking
really
box?
good movie. Yeah, I love that part.
I was waiting. I don't know. I'm going to do that a whole bunch during this review. I hope you know that.
As
That little,
as we
that little bit of
stated,
that. No,
Go
I was saying that the way he was acting there, it was kind of like I wanted to slap him because it was like he just went from this
Yeah.
hard ass cop to this little bitch in like a matter of seconds.
He did become a bitch, but it's literally he does it the moment he knows what's in it.
He knows
Like,
what's in
the
it.
moment he starts like just breaking, he knows there's nothing good in that fucking box for him, and he's
Yep.
got a really good suspicion of what it is. It's
Yep.
so fucked up because it goes from like I'm gonna kill you, man, to like wait, what? Well, no. Like it's that's a fucked up scene. Still, I will say,
Yeah.
being as desensitized as I am nowadays, this movie doesn't hit as hard as it did at one time.
That is true. When I
You know-
watched it again, it was it's like, oh, okay.
I've only seen the ending until today.
The fuck?
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I've never watched it. When it came out, I rented it and I was gonna watch it, but I ended up throwing a big house party at the time.
Huh?
And
Did you have the tall afro too?
no, it was
Play style?
still bald like this. And I
said house
had
party,
two
yeah.
friends. I had two friends that dosed that day, and I put them in the basement with my TV, and it was disconnected from the cable. So when the VCR was on, all it was snow, and it was a VHS. I put the tape in. I started the tape, and I went upstairs. When I came back down, they were just sitting there staring at the snow the whole time. They were like, "Why did you make us watch this movie?" And I was like, "I didn't make you. Like you just stayed here."
You heard it here
And I ne-
first, kids. Don't do drugs.
No, and I never got to see the movie until today.
I'm still gonna
I'm
go back to this. You
surprised.
have some of the weirdest circumstances for like not watching movies or not being able to. Like you are the guy
never picked it up again.
that like a movie that most people have seen. If you haven't seen it, there is a weird story behind it. Like, well, here's the thing: is on my way back from Blockbuster, and then a fucking moose hit my car. And by the time I got time to watch the movie, I had to return it. I didn't want to get late fees.
Yeah, and
Like,
it was
and I'm
out
not
of sight,
saying-
out of mind.
Yeah, I get it. I do. It's just funny. I just find some of the stories funny. That's all. But I've said that before. Nothing new. Lightning
so
struck, and I was like, oh,
quick-
shit, that's unlucky. So I just didn't watch it. Forgot about it.
Quick synopsis of the movie. You have Morgan Freeman, who plays Somerset. He's about to retire. He's at the end of his line. And then Brad Pitt's character, Mills, comes in and he's like, yeah, I'm the hotshot detective.
It's such a bad Photoshop of it.
It is, I know.
Like, I like how you almost lined up the neck.
The fact that his head is so much bigger in this picture.
This is my partner, Giant Head Jones. Probably, were you rocking a Kango hat?
No, I did not have a Kango cat.
Oh, I would have hated it.
That
No,
would have been hilarious.
Hello, loser.
I can't find the hat, but it's around here somewhere.
Go ahead, Shwati.
Where was I? Morgan, Brad Pitt. Okay. And Brad Pitt's in the city and he's joined the police force in the city. He was an officer from outside the city. I can't remember where they
He
said
said he was
from.
a homicide for 5 years, but he kind of like.
But
the
where
area-
though?
They don't
But
really. They don't really say, but where he is there, it's kind of like a shithole.
Yeah,
Like
He
he
went into the
purposely
shithole.
transferred into a shithole when there was.
yeah.
And then they start investigating together, and they start with a murder. And Somerset.
Or is it?
Mhm.
Big fat
Somerset's
boy drowns in
character's like,
cereal? Hmm?
fuck this. I know where this is going. This is going to drag on. I don't want to be a part of this. And even the department's like, you're fucking crazy. You're old. You're at the end of your line. You don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, nope, this is a serial killer. This is happening. And
There's going to be more, and I don't want to
yep,
be
there's
part
going
of
to
it.
be more. And Mills, I mean, from the get-go is like, yeah, this is my time. This is it. This will get me
He's
up there.
hungry, and it sure does cost him in the end.
Oh yeah, it does.
Had he just have
As-
stayed in his wherever he was.
But he even tries to get the case given to him, and the captain's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" He's like, "Go somewhere else." He's like, "This is not going to be for you. We're going to give it to somebody else."
I will say some of Morgan Freeman's coolest roles have been detectives. Kiss the Girls, Along Came a Spider. This
Oh,
one,
I love Along Came a Spider.
I mean, he did. Those were and those were connected. Those were both the James Patterson novels. It was the same character.
Hmm.
Oh shit! I
Who
didn't know
then
that.
the name was? I believe that was Alex Cross. I want to say who then Tyler Perry did a reboot of that, which was a pretty goddamn good movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen Kiss the Girls or Along Came a Spider, though. Carrie
Yeah, I've
Elves
seen
is,
Along Came a
in Kiss
Spider.
the Girls.
I remember Kiss the Girls. I did not know that they were connected though.
Yeah, the same character. It's James Patterson. The badassness of it is so like in Kiss the Girls, it breaks down to like the bad guy. He's cornered him and he's pulled the gas line, and he's like, "Go ahead, shoot, blow us all up. I don't give a fuck." And Morgan Freeman's like, "It's seriously." There's a little carton of milk, and before Morgan Freeman just like looks at it, and he's looking at the guy, and he like puts his gun behind the milk, shoots through the milk so there's no spark, and fucking kills the bad guy. Fucking how cool is that? You use milk to deter the explosion. Like I was watching it as I was young, and I was like, I would have never done like that. And I'm like, that's we're all motherfucking dead. Clack clack in the sky. Like I don't know what I would have done.
Be like, that's milk. I wanted it.
Right. Sorry,
I
I'm
could use
black.
it for my cereal.
I'd be the one to fuck it up. As soon as like Matt would pull the trigger, I'd pick up the milk and be like, "Oh, I'm so thirsty."
Whole room fills with fire.
Gunpowder.
Deadly burning ouchy fire. Not to mention you've been inhaling the gas too, so that's going to ignite in your lungs as well if there's any.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody thinks about that. Anywho.
So the movie carries on and a series of murders become escalated and they become crazier. And then I think it's Somerset's character who figures out their
The sins.
The seven deadly sins.
Seven deadly sins,
Yes,
yeah.
I don't remember. Gluttony,
And it's funny when they do the montage.
Gluttony.
Because Somerset's character is in the library reading books and shit.
Yeah.
And Mill's character is just at his office and all over the place. And
well,
like,
you
when he
could,
brings
well
the shit,
that's the
"Where'd
whole
you
thing about
find this?"
that's the whole thing about Morgan Freeman in this movie. He's fucking done. Like the only reason Pitt can get into the precinct is because Morgan Freeman's out. Like he's his replacement.
Yeah.
Which
And
they only really touch on at the very beginning when Morgan Freeman's basically like, "Why the fuck did you come here?" Like he blank straight out is just like, "No, I know you worked, but like, why here? Like this place sucks dick. That's why I'm leaving."
Choose this place? Yeah.
Like Freeman's basically, "I'm trying to crawl the fuck out, and you want in? Like, what is your problem?" Basically.
Also, he wouldn't have gone anywhere. Mills wouldn't have gone anywhere with the case had Somerset did that research and gave him that envelope.
Which gives this movie kind of a real cool detective noir feel. Like you do feel like it's a detective movie because there are those moments where it's like, I know it's a movie, but they see shit that you don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty observant in movies, and I actually pride myself in being like, hey. But when I remember first watching this, I was like, I no fucking clue. I was also under 10.
Good point. Good point.
Go ahead, Alex. Continue.
No, and then it shows that Mill's character is actually not really. He's a dummy, but he's not that much of a dummy. He actually sends one of the fucking beat cops to fucking go get the cliff notes for all these books that he told him about because he wasn't going to sit there and read all these fucking books.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, did anybody know who did the soundtrack before you? If you saw who did it on the credits before you saw it, did you know who was doing it?
Trent Reznor.
Reznor, yeah. Actually, there's some samples in the beginning intro that come directly from Closer is one of them that they sample from. Yeah, no, I really dig that. Okay, so I'm a big Trent Reznor fan pre-2000. Like I like the Fragile, but after that I don't, I liked his scoring of a girl with the dragon tail. Yeah, he did the score in this movie and it's pure Trent Reznor.
That opening song that he did kind of gave me like the Crow feeling.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, so
kind of like
they're saying the remake's coming again
for the Crow.
Yeah, it was going to be Jason Momoa, and then it was off, and then now it's back on, but I don't know if Jason Momoa is in it, so we'll see.
I think
Alex
Jason
Momoa?
No.
Momoa?
Jason Momoa. But the Crow I you know what? I hate to say this, that movie needs to be fucking rebooted. Like, have you watched The Crow? It looks like it's from '94 because it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love it, but it has to be gritty. It's got to be awesome. Like, and here's the thing: do you want Momoa to play it? Like, do you want? I hate to put it this way: do you want a big brooding dude to be the character? Like, the whole point of his character was he was just a dude who gets resurrected to come out and like do these final tasks.
Yeah, he would have to be a small guy.
Like, not even small, but like, I don't know if I want Momoa. Like, I would see Sebastian Stan after watching him in the Pam and Tommy thing, and I want to watch Fresh now because I actually watched the trailer. It does look pretty. Have you watched that yet, Alex?
Which one? The Pam and Town?
Fresh.
Oh no! I haven't.
So I want to watch that. Sebastian Stan, I think would work. You beef him up a little bit, like because even Brandon Lee, he wasn't beefy, but he was martial arts muscular.
Yeah.
So like
Toned. He was.
You
toned.
also have to, I think,
Yeah.
get somebody like. I don't think when he puts on the iconic like black stretch wear, if you've got a big rip dude, it's gonna work as well. Like you kind of need it to be like a smaller dude that's just can put on whatever to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know who I would cast that. Jason, I think Jason's right. Although would be good.
What the fuck?
He would be good in it. It's just I don't know if that's the right image you want for the Crow.
I think he has the right attitude, but yeah, his image he's too big.
Maybe the sequel.
I know who. Elias, the wrestler.
Oh,
You know, if he wasn't so beefy, actually, he might work. He even plays fucking guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but the Crow, we should review that. We haven't reviewed that, have we?
No.
Nope.
We should review that soon, but we got to pick another, I think, cult classic. We do a cult classics episode.
Escape from New York.
Edward Scissorhands.
No, I think we did that already, didn't we?
Yeah, for Halloween.
You guys did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of an
Escape
off
from-
pairing. Just the whole thing kind of threw me off. It's like lamb and tuna fish, but whatever.
Prayer of the Roller Boys. Just kidding.
I know you want to do that one, and one day I promise we will. It'll be that in McCall's Navy.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You can watch it for free on YouTube.
Oh,
That's
man.
how you know it's not great, by the way. Like, it's not fair use because, like, it's 100 years old. It's fair use because it's shite. All right.
We should do
It's got a
an
Corey.
episode. It would have to be 4 movies because it would have to be one movie from each of us that you love dearly, but you know is just pure, like, not
See,
shit,
here's
but
the thing,
like,
Okay.
I don't
okay,
even
for
know if
most
I
people,
feel
this
that
is
way
at the
about
bottom.
McCall's Navy, though, because I don't feel the movie's pure shit. Like, I think the movie's legitimately got some. It's like, you know how The Pest is funny? It's that kind
be
of
the
funny.
pest for me. Yeah.
If we're gonna go that route, it's either gonna be Waterworld or The Postman for me.
Oh, don't make us watch the fucking Postman. I can handle Waterworld. Don't make me sit through 3 hours of that shit. Like, I would have to
It's
agree
so
because it's your fucking
so-
choice, but don't do it. I'm just saying, don't fucking do it. I'll
Waterworld or The
Wikipedia
Postman
that
if we do
shit.
that.
I don't know what Lewis's would be. I really don't. Giovanni had talked about his being Guyver at one point.
Guy, if we're talking like movies that like, why do you like this? It would be The Guyver. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Like, why the fuck do you like this? Like,
See, that's the thing is I don't know if McCall's Navy fits that because like even if you guys didn't like it, you would be like, that's right, that part was pretty funny. Like there still will be that moment in that movie. I know it. So it's like I'd have to dig deep and like really
If you
go
ever want
somewhere.
to, if you ever want to get something that gives you like a Guyver feel, watch Psycho Gorman. I think that gave
Yes.
me like
Psycho Gorman's great.
It gave me like a
Gorman
Guyver
is
feel.
amazing.
Psycho Gorman is like Guyver meets the Trauma
Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger, yeah.
Yes.
A little bit. Okay, so this movie, not like any of those, by the way.
Nope, not at all.
Basically, they're hunting this fucking wacko killer who's doing the 7 deadly sins, which are sloth, gluttony, vanity, don't eat bread on Sunday.
Gluttony, greed, sloth, envy, wrath, lust, and pride.
Yes.
Vengeance. Oh, what you
Ven-
get that
I don't-
vengeance?
No. I
Vengeance and envy were the last two. That's at the end. He says he wants you to be vengeance. He's envy.
Vengeance a sin though?
It's not considered vengeance. It's something else.
Wrath.
But
Pride?
wrath.
No,
Yeah,
wrath.
wrath.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's the thing is when this movie came out in fucking 95 and you start seeing people with knives shoved up their ass, it's fucking
That-
brutal.
Yeah.
The movie's brutal,
And-
but like I
And
said,
that
by today's
scene, they didn't
standards,
even
it's
they didn't even show it.
wow,
No.
Just the way the actor reacted when they were
you
interviewing
see the
him.
knife handle. But
Dude,
you know-
yeah,
you know
they
what's
showed
up.
they showed a
Holy
picture of it. I was
shit.
like, what the fuck? A fucking strap-on knife? The fuck?
I think the
Yeah.
one that creeps me out in that one is the guy laying in bed who's been there for years. They think he's dead.
Sloth.
Sloth, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's actually alive. I was like, oh fuck.
It
He's
always
so emaciated that he yeah.
well then like the big boy who's the first murder
oh god.
always reminds me of the dude
The
from
Gotcha.
Blade. the big fat
Oh,
pudding
the one where she
vampire.
shines the light on him.
Yeah. Which I think is a famous actor. I think it was the dude that was in like Problem Child, the bully, the big guy.
Not Spawn doesn't give you the clowns. John Leguizamo's character.
Violator.
It does a
Yeah,
little
Violator.
bit. Violated. See, I like that movie, but you can
I
only
do
watch
too.
the rated R version.
Yeah.
Yes.
You watch the PG-13, it's fucking garbage. You
Yeah.
gotta watch. And I remember when that movie came out, they literally had the PG-13 DVD, and then remember they had the paper with the plastic like clip fold thing to seal it. Was the rated R version? That's how you knew. At least as a kid, because I wasn't reading the back of it. Fuck, with a dyslexic. What am I gonna do? Read?
That says very realistic murder scenes.
Fuck yeah, it does. And like, but that's even the thing is this movie has these scenes without even showing them.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they've already happened, and just the atmosphere and the cinematography and the acting really builds the grotesque for you. Like you see some and you get, but the
Even-
majority of it is built upon the reactions and
Yeah,
the set
their
pieces.
conversations.
Even the forensic
reactions.
photos that they show.
Yep.
Like pound of flesh, and he's like, yeah, he takes it from the the love handle.
Yeah.
And when they show that scene, it's like, holy shit.
I will argue the first Saw movie copies heavily from this sort of atmosphere where
can see-
there's
yeah,
not a ton of
absolutely.
violence in the first Saw movie if you really think about it. But people, that's a violent movie because of the subject matter. Like the only real violence is he cuts his leg off. Like, and when the one guy who crawls through the barbed wire, and then there's the guts scene. But other than that, that's all the violence you get in the first Saw. A lot of
I'm
it
in
is
a party.
she's literally pulling out sausages. The guy's like alive but can't move. He's just like, and she's fucking, oh, it never stops. And she's fucking ripping at him.
Going back to what Vet said today it was all sausage for you.
What?
Vet said that earlier.
Yeah, it's all sausage. Very true. The way Training Day changed cop movies, this changed murder scenes. You're right. And by that it made them grittier. Like without this movie, you don't have the Zodiac movie at all. I don't think.
Oh, such a good movie.
Without this movie, you don't have Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, international or American.
I've never
like-
watched any of those.
They're good.
They're really good.
They're rough movies. The remake was good too, even though it did get a sequel, but it was a different cast entirely and everything. But that's the thing is like you don't have a lot of the like modern detective. Like hell, I haven't seen the Batman. I'm gonna presume there's some shit in the Batman that is at least influenced by this movie.
Yeah.
Like I've heard the Batman's a detective movie. It's dark. It's gritty. I'm going to imagine if you talk to Matt Reeves, he'd say, yeah, Seven's definitely an story. That sort of thing.
That's what we're going to be able to see that in April.
Yes, that'll be an April review. It releases on HBO Max April 15th. I am buying, gentlemen, Spider-Man No Way Home tonight on Vudu.
Nice.
So we have to figure out when the fuck, because I'm going to watch it immediately. I've been waiting since theaters.
So good.
I tried to use that gift card. I told you guys about it. I tried to use that gift card to buy it.
Wait,
It wouldn't
Aquaman's
let me.
fucks fish? No way.
What?
Harry says it's true.
All them blowjobs.
The fishy blowjobs.
That's
Not my fault, man. They get attached. I'm handsome. It's my long hair.
So the killer in this movie has to speed up his period
Process.
of point for killing. Yeah, he has to speed up the sins, speed them up, and he's strictly doing it to be famous and remembered. And
He is your tip, like, and that is the one thing that's a little iffy about this movie is he is like a psychopath built upon the psychopaths they've had. Like when you think about like Gacy, Manson, a lot of them like love the fame in the end, and that's where I think he's a crazy person who just feeds off of it. I will say I feel killers in movies have grown a little bit.
Which
since
is
this movie.
he wanted fame out of it, but he also wanted the spiritual thing out of it because at the end it says he had this envy.
yeah, and that's what made it so weird for his.
Well, he was quenching his own sins by murdering others.
It was really weird because of his behavior in the movie, with the way it ended, what he wanted versus the fame he wanted.
He was pretty smart too.
In a way, his character is kind of like a hardcore religious person who like kind of like doles out punishment for things they themselves do.
That's
in
true.
that way, I kind of looked at his character. I also looked at his character as like a fucking cuckoo bird who was just using this as a means to an end to get what he wanted.
Yeah, and cuts his own fingertips off so he doesn't leave fucking fingerprints anywhere.
And by the way, did he want to die? I say yes.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
first, I don't think so. But I think when he met Mills, he wanted to have that life that he had, and which became envy.
Which I think he also
So
wanted.
he's like, I'm sinning now.
Well, also, I mean, in his mind, if you really think about it from that sort of like insanity, you could say that like nobody will ever forget him. Mills will never forget him.
Oh,
By the way,
God,
if you
yeah,
haven't
no.
seen the end of this movie, basically they're out in the desert and they're going out and to I believe he said that's where the next victim was.
Yeah.
And they show up
He
and there's
wasn't lying,
nothing.
technically.
No, eventually. And then a goddamn delivery van shows up and drops off a box and then scurries away. And at this point, it was kind of like Brad Pitt's already on the realm of like, I'm going to shoot this motherfucker. Like, he wants to put him down like a dog, and I can't blame him. Morgan Freeman is that voice of reason of like, no, justice. Like, this is what we are. You know, he is through and through. Our job is this, not this. We're not executioners.
Yeah.
And he opens the Brad Pitt and Freeman opens the box.
And he immediately is like,
and his face
running back,
yeah.
like, put the fucking gun down.
He knows he's gonna kill him.
Away from the guy, like,
and he knows that he's gonna tell him, I killed your wife. Like he knows.
Oh well, I mean, you know it's him. Like
Yeah.
who the fuck? It's not a mailman. So
no,
like,
but I'm saying I know but I'm saying
he's
gonna tell him that it was your wife. Yeah.
Yeah, and
that was my last victim.
Well, that's smart on Freeman too. Like the whole idea of like, oh shit, he's gonna kill him. Like that first thought is like, besides the horror, the first thought is like, fuck, he's gonna.
Mm-hmm.
And is and then Brad Pitt as he basically he's confident, and then he kind of sees Morgan Freeman's reaction, and you hear that confidence break, and then like as he gets closer to the box, like you could tell the character just had the like the in the stomach, like the that hole kept getting deeper as he walked closer to it, and then eventually, and that's where the famous like, what's in the fucking box?
Yeah, what's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? That's where that quote comes from.
But that's also where Kevin Spacey. That's also where Kevin Spacey's character goes. He saw what's in the box, or he goes like he saw it. He's like, here he comes.
Alex, what's in the box?
What's her name? That girl that doesn't know how to speak.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to speak. She calls him Anthony.
Well, no more voice box, so not a big deal.
It's her head.
It's her head.
Yeah, and like the fucked up part is the first thing you see is like the blood-stained blonde hair. Like before you really, that's mostly of what you see.
I actually all this time I had mixed up the movie The Mexican with Seven. So I thought it was Julia Roberts.
You were hoping in there. You're hoping. You're like, come on, Julia, I can't take you no more. That's fucked.
When this movie started, and I saw Gwyneth Paltrow come out, I was like, I thought it was Julia Roberts the whole time. Like I said, I've never watched the movie.
No, you gotta remember, Julia Roberts at this point was way bigger than this movie.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like she was already like stardom. Brad Pitt's like, I wish she was Julia. I got fucking low rent Gwyneth Paltrow good. I don't think he thought that. He probably like made it. He's a good looking dude. I'd fuck him. Why not, right?
With the Pit?
Yeah, the Pit. Jesus, I don't know which way to take that. I think I'll just let it go.
I'm sorry, has pet names for him, the Pit.
I gotta say, I mean, if you're Angelina Jolie, right? We always talk about like guys like dating out of their league and up. Like, can you imagine how good she felt about herself going from fucking Billy Bob Thornton to Brad Pitt?
I know. I was like,
you went from hillbilly fucking scum to Brad fucking Pitt.
But doesn't she also have like a weird stepbrother type relationship with her actual brother?
Yeah, she's got a very affectionate relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super awkward.
I can't believe John Voight's nutsack made it. I mean, he doesn't look anything like her. I do like John Voight. He was in the first Mission Impossible. You guys remember him from that?
Yeah.
A bunch of other shit, obvious. He's gone a little, he's very right wing now. And he's open about it. So people gave him hate for that. I just can't believe he made her. Like, and I don't find her attractive. Like, she hasn't been attractive for me since Hackers. I know Giovanni's probably Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not into her, but she's still, I don't know how the fuck she get out and hit him though. The mother must be gorgeous. Whoever her mother is, I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen pictures of her mom.
Who
Dead
is
for
her
30
mother?
Years. Like
Never looked it
John
up
Voight.
either.
John Voight buried her 18 feet under a fucking parking lot that was built. Not taking my money, bitch. No, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen her mom, so I have no clue. I really don't.
Was she I don't even know if she was an actress or famous.
No, I don't think she was. I think John Voight, she was a hitchhiker, and he picked her up, and 9 months later, she's in a sewer drain, and he has Angelina Jolie.
Jesus.
I'm just painting John Voight out to be a fucking serial murderer. I used to pick up hitchhikers. Oh, I got my sweet little Angie.
Oh, she kind of looks like her, but she also passed away.
1974.
Oh, wow.
6 months after Angelina Jolie's birth. Oh, poor John Voight the murderer. Anyways.
Yep.
Didn't say it.
I just agreed. I never said nothing. Okay.
So, what'd you
Where do we go from there?
I'm gonna say that I agree with Matt. We talked about this before. This movie was not what it used to be. Now that I'm so desensitized to all the shit that we see nowadays. I mean, you can go on the internet and find a video of somebody getting beheaded, to be honest with you. As
Anyway,
crazy as it sounds. Yeah.
I'm sure YouTube has it out there somewhere.
And to Matt's point, this movie doesn't show any of the murders taking place or tortures taking place.
I think it's a problem with audiences, though. Like, at that point, we were very much like, less is more. And I think now it's very much like, no. I want to see everything. I want to see tendons rendered in the CGI. I want to see guts fall out in a realistic manner. Like, people have gotten harder in their movie taste, but softer in their lives. They crave harder.
Nowadays, it's more like, I want to see all that, and then I want to go on Twitter and have it canceled immediately.
Oh my God, it was
but
so
you need to
violent.
show me it first.
Yeah, I want to see it first.
Oh my God, they killed a female person of color. Fucking racist and sexist. I've seen comments like that.
Yeah, it's super
there was
disturbing.
A comment like that for Texas Chainsaw.
Are you serious? Oh,
Rotten Tomatoes is a wonderful website for dipshittery. It's just up there with Twitter.
It's a fucking movie.
Yeah, people take it way too seriously. People do. There's a certain, I think, entitlement people have with movies that we didn't used to have. There's only 6. I think that's the thing about it, is now we look at movies like, well, you better deliver. Like, you better deliver what I want. And that's the problem, is it's no longer like, what's your artistic expression? It's, you better agree with me, and you better deliver what I want, because if you don't, I have every avenue possible to shit on your product, and I'm going to do it. Why?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm a cunt.
That's true.
IMDb has which movie? 19 best. This one? 7?
Oh, no shit.
And then
It's the
Fabi says that
19th.
you are the 7th. You are the 7th.
Fair enough. Even though my shirts only have 5.
Even though you have another one sitting to your side there, the bobblehead. Fucking Spacey does have some pretty good lines in this movie, though.
Yes, he's got great dialogue.
He does.
One of the ones that I really liked was when he starts telling him that he spared his life. He tells Mills, he's like I allowed you to have that life, and it riles up fucking Mills. I like that shit.
Kevin Spacey is arguably one of the first trolls on TV or movie.
Yeah,
think about it. He's a fucking troll. Good one and violent one. Troll.
Yeah.
But you've seen this character in other movies later on. It's just not the character. Like, you've seen the psychopath who's overly smart, overly witty, and outwits everybody until the end. There is no end for Spacey's outwitting of people. He does it from the beginning he starts to the end of the movie. He doesn't lose in his mind. He wins.
That said in real life also, that said.
Well.
I do enjoy the scene.
The weirdest thing about the Kevin Spacey thing is right after he got fired from everything, he posts that video in character.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
It was fucking creepy with the circumstances. It's like, did you think that somebody at Netflix was gonna be like, I understand he was raping underages, but God damn, is he a good Frank? and have him come back? Like, what the fuck was the point of it? Like, is that like, did you really think they'd be like, you know what? We were wrong by firing him because that man can act. No.
Yeah.
Called blacklisted.
Where do you
Because you fucked up.
Where do you think he pulled his inspiration for some of these roles? Like this one, the way he talks.
I mean, I don't see. That's the thing, though, is I don't know. And what I've heard, see, and this is a bigger discussion that I don't really want to get into, right? And I'm not defending him. I'm not saying what he's done right, but I have read and heard. There's been lots of literature and shit like that about it. That some portions of the gay community start young. There's a lot of stories of young gay men being brought into the lifestyle under 18.
Kind of like grooming?
Yes, a little bit. And like, he wasn't the first, and I'm not defending him. Was he part of this group? How long was he part of this process? Did he come into this process in Hollywood and have it done to himself, and that's how he learned? Like, that's the problem, is Hollywood is so fucked up. We want to castrate the individuals, but we never want to kill the poison. Weinstein went, and what did we get? We got hashtags. We got newish policies that are supposed to protect people. Didn't he win an Oscar for trying to make love to a minor?
Oh, was it American Beauty or whatever?
Yeah, that's a woman though, so it's not real. But that's the thing, is like, there is a poison in Hollywood. This shit's been, I mean, there's stories of the 80s, the child actors. Look up what happened. You can call them conspiracies. Look at the stories of what happened to the girl that was in the Poltergeist. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. I'm not going to talk about it, but like, there's a poison in the industry and music industry.
The Corys.
The Corys, like, yeah,
Corys is probably the big.
Sure.
That's most famous.
Fuck
right
Kevin
now,
Spacey, no problem. Sure. Well, no. Then you got the Nickelodeon, that fat fuck that was a kid star.
Yes.
You know, what was I was just watching something that he's in. Oh, there was an episode of Saved by the Bell that he's
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's actually like the director or the producer of like the
Yes.
High School Musicals and all that
Yes.
shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yes. So this
He was
shit,
in Head of the Class.
R. Kelly's song still hit. Not a rap fan, but sure.
Oh,
Some bump and grind. But that's the thing,
Take a
like,
shower.
what's that?
Take a shower. Gold shower.
The piss song. But that's the thing, is like, sure, fuck Kevin Spacey, but let's stop pretending he's an innovator. Let's stop pretending he's not only one of how many of these fucking pieces of shit, right? Like, I'm supposed to hate him for life and dislike Baby Driver because he was in it, yet nobody attacks the real problem, and the people that do get fucking attacked by the mainstream.
My question was though, where do you think he got the inspiration for this role?
I don't know. When did Usual Suspects come out? Was it before or around or at the same year?
I don't know.
Because I feel like he took a lot of inspiration from Usual Suspects, or vice versa.
Because like the way he enunciates things, the way he talks in that monotone like voice.
1995.
Okay, so I wonder, I don't know, because like it would make sense for him to film Usual Suspects before this, because there's parts of his character from that movie in this character.
Okay.
And that is like because you gotta remember what happens at the end of The Usual Suspects. So like, that's the thing, is I wonder, I don't know, the same year though, I mean, he was on fire, give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
It was before this, it was before 7, yeah.
I mean,
and then it was Outbreak and then 7.
He was on a fucking string.
Kevin Spacey is not a bad actor. He's just
he's a great actor.
He's a great actor. Yeah, he's just fucked up.
1, 2, 3.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm not defending. I'm not making excuses, but there are. I mean, nobody fucking knows besides the people that it happened to and him.
From 95 to 97, he had Outbreak, or Usual Suspects, Outbreak, 7, Time to Kill, LA Confidential, and then Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
God damn.
And then Negotiator in 98.
Damn.
Jesus.
I mean, he's been hot up until 2015 when shit broke down. I mean, when he stopped doing big movies, he went into that fucking show that was enormously popular, House of Cards.
Yep. And before that, he was in the fucking one of the Call of Duties.
Yeah, he was the main bad guy. Like, if he wouldn't have gotten caught up in his bullshit he was doing, he'd still be hot.
I think so too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, he does have three projects coming out.
Are they called Videos from My Basement? I wish I'd have kept my dick in my pants, and boy, I need to learn how to swim.
One is called Gore, where he plays a person named Gore Vidal. Another one is called The Man Who
Bio?
Drew God, and he plays detective, no name. And then Peter 5'8", and he plays Peter.
Sounds like his career is going swimmingly. Good for him. The Ref is a good movie. I like that one. That's
Yep.
Dennis Leary and Kevin Spacey. I don't remember the one. I don't remember the wife, the actress. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember the movie. I own it. I just haven't watched it because getting my wife to watch anything hard. Like focusing a laser beam that wants to aim other shit. Or is tired. My wife's tired usually, so like we're trying to watch Mandalorian. Yesterday she fell asleep halfway through the episode. Tonight she fell asleep 10 minutes into the second episode that after we finished the other one.
Mandalorian's good. I will tell you though, you have to be awake for that shit.
Yeah.
I really want to watch Mando because I want to watch Boba, and I've wanted to watch those two. And I thought she wanted to watch Wanda, but I asked her last night. She's like, I don't really give it. Like, I swore you said you wanted to watch it. And she's like, meh.
I liked it. It was enjoyable.
The Marvel
WandaVision?
shows I skipped over. I haven't seen any of them.
I haven't watched Black Widow. I kind of want to watch that. The Hawkeye show, somewhat
haven't
appealing.
watched
But I'll be
any
honest
of
with you. You know what appeals to me more than any of those? Besides, well, not any shows in the Marvel universe is rewatching fucking Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil,
I'd rather do that right now than go watch Wanda or one of the other
I
ones.
will say I'm excited for the Moon Knight. I want
I
to
have
see
a
what
blanket
that
on
brings to
because
the
I'm
table.
cold. Moon Knight.
Oh.
So okay, so let me ask you, and I wasn't a Moon Knight fan, as far as didn't read the shit right. Is it? It's gonna sound bad. I think it's a little fucked up to remove the Jewish lineage from the character because from what I've read, it's pretty deep in the actual comic writing. And that's where a lot of these, like when Lewis was talking about the symbols and shit that they have in there, don't make a whole lot of sense unless they explain them a certain way without the Jewish face. So I'm like I said, I'm not a fan, so I'm not making an argument one way or another. I have read people are unhappy about it though. The guy who created it said he doesn't give a fuck because Marvel's paying him out the asshole, basically. But I'd have to imagine if you're a fan, particularly a Jewish fan, you might have a problem with that. Ripping the character of...
It's so weird that they did
identity.
it too, because Marvel has been real big on like trying to incorporate
everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody. Marvel and Disney and them have been trying to incorporate buzz people is what I'm going to call them. Groups that they think are going to make them more money. When they realize they can't, they stop exploiting them. Disney's done it for 120 years.
Oh yeah, Disney.
Or however long.
The new Miss Marvel is another one that they brought in. I believe she's
Captain Marvel.
No, the new Miss Marvel.
I heard they were recasting Captain Marvel too, but I don't think they are.
Who's Captain Marvel? They need to recast. I fucking hate that bitch.
Also, I don't give a shit about.
Can't stand her.
Yeah, Brie Larson's bad.
And her
Oscar Hernandez Estrada. Is that his real name? I like Oscar Isaac. That dude is good in everything he fucking does.
Yeah.
Like even if the movie is gonna be shit, you know Oscar Isaac's performance is gonna fucking suck. I thought he was one of the better parts of Dune. His real name's Oscar Hernandez Estrada. He related to Eric Estrada in any way? Because that would be dope. Saying. Fucking Ponch. You want to be related to the Ponch?
Yep.
Hollywood made him. He made it. That's true. That is going from a very non-white name to a white name. That's bullshit. He should just go. Well, that's if. I'm sure that was him in the mirror going, Mother Estrada. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he internalized that quite a bit. It was like,
oh, that's funny.
There's plenty of time for tangents, but let's wrap up 7 and give our hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Let's go with Giovanni.
I do like this movie. It's not as punchy as it used to be, but I think it still delivers well. I think it's clever in the filming that they didn't have to show the massive gore, the massive violence.
Sausage talk? What are you talking about? I don't understand the sausage talk comments. I don't think I talked about sausage at all today. So fucking confused right now. Please go on.
I've only slept 3 hours today. What are you doing to me?
I don't think I've mentioned sausages once. I mean, maybe with the guts. I did mention them there. That's true. Sausage in a pressure cooker. We ordered barbecue.
Oh, you were talking about air frying sausages and shit like that earlier.
Hey man, you're gonna knock it. Fucking try it, and you're gonna have the juiciest, plumpiest, soft fucking sausage you've ever eaten, my friend. Maybe not Italian, but bratwurst.
I remember
pretty
now.
Goddamn well. Got me talking about sausage. Watch one.
The characters descriptions do deliver really well, and it shows that you don't have to show the violence to get an idea of what's going on. This is an easy 4 for me. I do love this movie. I actually watched it twice this week because I loved it so much. So
very good.
I just feel like we should start fitting it. Alex?
For me, I'm gonna go with 4 on this. I did like it. Brad Pitt's character, he was really good at channeling that shit and showing the emotion that he has for wanting to do the job, and then realizing later on that, oh shit, he's actually pretty quick, but he's like this dumb animal.
But what do you do? Like, what do you do after this? Like, you can't be a cop anymore.
Yeah,
like odds are Brad Pitt's character eventually eats a bullet. Like, what do you do?
Or no, he's in jail on suicide watch for the rest of his life.
Well, I don't know if they would put him in jail.
And they did say they would take care of him at the end, but I don't think it meant in a...
I think he would get off with... No, here's the thing. You don't...
Not temporary insanity, you're not going to
say. Yes, I would say temporary insanity.
Then he never has a job as a policeman again, then.
Well, no, he's never going to be a... He murdered a suspect in custody. Yeah. He's never going to be a cop again. But the question of him... I don't think he goes to prison or jail. I mean, he literally just Amazon unboxed his wife's head. I think that's a pretty good temporary insanity defense. You think he, like, in nowadays, he'd be like, God, this fucking tape is hard to get off. Oh, God damn it, a strand of it pulled off.
I like how they also tied back to the first items you see fucking Somerset grabs. His keys, his knife, his wallet, and he comes back with the knife at the end to open the box.
Is a knife like that standard issue for a detective? Like, can you
really
use a switchblade?
And I think Mill's character's reaction when they were cutting over the painting, it's like, what the fuck is that? Like,
like
that is a switchblade.
They let you fucking carry that thing? Like, holy shit.
What?
Like even him saying the word switchblade kind of gives you that God talking to you feeling.
What's the other name for a switchblade? I think it starts with an M. Whatever. It's not going to come back to me within time. The episode will be over tomorrow. Hey, I'll text you guys. By the way, Switchblade's called this.
But all in all, Kevin Spacey's character, I did kind of see him as like an autistic type character. Like at the end when he starts talking, so that's what I was trying to get you get at. Like, where do you see he got his inspiration for this character?
I felt more of a
the way he
talked, zealot.
I know, but it was like somebody who was focused on one category, and he just.
I don't know what real life character, but I mean, he's definitely using some of the shit he used from Usual Suspects in that character.
Because he's got this like monotone talk every time.
Well, in Usual Suspects, didn't he have a limp and an accent, which then is not real? Like, isn't that the whole ending is he's freed and he's walking, and then his limp stops, and then he takes off this and that. Like, that's the whole thing. So, for me, the performances are similar in certain ways to the point where it's like. With the time frame, I would bet 1,000% that he did Usual Suspects, then probably went into filming Seven, and took some of that character with him in the delivery. I don't know how you couldn't at that point with the similarity. But otherwise, I mean, I'd imagine if you looked it up, Spacey probably talked somewhere about how he did research on Manson and these other killers, and
used none of it.
Right. And then I opened my door and there was a 15-year-old, and what can I do? Anywho, what's your hot dogs?
But overall, it was a 4 for me. I liked all the characters. They were all like really good. All the acting was really done well and shit. And then even the crackhead was fucking done well. They might have used a real crackhead. I don't know.
You gotta wonder. I mean, it is what's his face that did this movie? David Lynch. That's why you have the Trent Reznor soundtrack. He also did the remake.
No, David Fincher.
David Fincher, sorry. I believe he did the was it him or Lynch who did the remake of Girl with a Dragon? I want to say Fincher as well, because you have Trent Reznor doing the soundtrack on that.
Oh, Gone Girl.
Oh yeah, Fincher's big.
He did Social Network. Okay.
I've never seen that movie.
I got to see it for free.
Did he do Lost Highway?
No, that was Finch. David. That was
Lynch.
David Finch. Lynch, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Lynch, I think, did the remake of Girl with the Dragon. But okay, so I like the movie. Well acted. It's a classic. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 only because I really love the industrial soundtrack. That intro was way tolerable for me because of what was going on with it. I also like the atmospheric. The cinematography in this movie is awesome. I don't mind so much the less is more. You know, I in this sort of movie I can suspend that gore, that bloodlust we get. So yeah, easy 4.5 out of 5 for me.
There was enough story to make up for it.
Yeah, this movie wasn't lacking. Like, you had the individual character stories. You know, I mean, and that's the thing about this movie is the movie is a central story about solving a murder with crazy circumstances, but it's also a character study. It's a character study of Spacey, of Freeman on the way out. He's at the end of his rope. He's fucking done. You got Brad Pitt who's on his way in. He's hungry. He wants the filth. He wants the grime. And then ultimately Brad Pitt gets what he wants, but with bad consequences. And I like how Morgan Freeman is the constant, though, in this movie. Pitt is the variable. Freeman is the constant. He doesn't move in his ideals. He is who he is. He's seen enough. He's heard enough. He's done enough that he never changes in this movie. Brad Pitt does. Kevin Spacey, I think, does to a certain degree. Freeman does not. Also, Paltrow definitely changed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. To go back to that, the one thing I think is that the major tipping point for Mills is when he finds out that he was going to be a father.
Yeah, that's the other thing is you lose her and the baby. So that's and that's what I said.
She was pregnant.
There is no he's going to prison.
Yeah.
I think I don't think you would be able to find a jury to convict him of murder. I don't think you could do it.
Honestly, if this happened today, I still don't think you can do it.
I mean, I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
Everybody's got fucking defenders.
Mm-hmm.
But if you explain it that way, like a cop shot a murderer who killed his pregnant wife
and beheaded her, and yeah.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell had defenders. That's all I'm saying. Like
we will find out.
We are a lot dumber.
Oh yeah, Cain Velasquez. That's right.
You know what? I feel from what I've heard, and they haven't released a ton, that he should get off.
I think he should.
The problem is he didn't shoot the guy. He shot the guy that was in the car with the guy. So he didn't even shoot the guy he wanted to shoot.
Do you know the story, Giovanni, or no?
Mm-mm.
So Cain Velasquez, you know, he is an MMA fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Former WWE for 5 minutes.
Somebody was molesting his niece, I believe it was, for 4 years.
But no, that's the thing is
they said a family member.
They don't know because they haven't come out with it. Speculation on the media side is niece. Speculation.
It was a 4-year-old.
Yeah, speculation is its daughter.
Ooh,
it's his son.
His son.
Has that officially come out?
And he went to go shoot the guy who did the deed, and he shot the person that was driving the car instead of the guy.
Which I feel like
he's still alive, so it's attempted murder.
I feel like had he come across this guy in range of, there wouldn't be a gun. He'd have beat him to death. So 4-year-old son. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel
I'm all for Cain.
I feel like if you're a father or a mother and you find out somebody's doing something like that to your fucking kid, free reign. I think you should be allowed to butcher them in the streets. But once again, here on this channel, we have a zero tolerance policy to pedophilia, things like that, rape.
Zero tolerance policy.
And once I become god of this universe, New York City, we're going to have once every quarter, once every 3 months, live executions. Right in the middle of town square, televised on all the major networks. Or the truly awful. Cops talk to him and leave with an ankle monitor. He found out and lost it. That's understandable. Now, did that take place in California or Mexico? I know the shooting took place in California.
If it was in Mexico, there wouldn't be much news.
Well,
he's still looking for the guy.
Yeah, the only reason there's news is because he shot him in California. So, but I didn't know if the crime took place in California, if it was the other side, and then the guy came over U.S. side. I don't know, but all right, we've got one more movie. This movie starring Brad DiCaprio. And
I'm glad you said it that way.
What's his face? The other guy, Mark Ruffalo, who we saw recently. The last time we saw him in here was The Last Castle. It's not racist.
Which part?
I don't know what part. I'm going to
Yeah.
assume asking if it was perpetrated overseas or over the border or not.
Oh,
I don't find it to be racist. Giovanni, you got statistics on this one too?
Dues.
I don't
So
think
this
it's
was
racist to say
filmed-
that Mexico's government is horribly corrupt. Ours is too, but we've got the gas. Damn it,
All
prices
governments are corrupt.
not the Netherlands, according to EB. They're clean as the preacher's sheets. Go on.
So
oh shit.
this movie was released in 2010. It's a thriller mystery. I didn't know this movie was over 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a
Like I
long
got
one.
an hour in and I paused it and I was like, fuck, I still have another hour?
Yeah,
Holy
and
shit.
this movie was also, I think, piss poor marketed. Like they marketed it as a horror movie,
Yeah, they
and,
did.
and it's
Yes.
not at all.
Because one of the main scenes is the lady with the fucking no hair. Going,
And then
Yeah.
the jump out scare when he's going up the windy fucking thing
Yeah.
the rock face area by the old prisons. Yeah,
But like even when you watch the movie, that scene where the lady, it's still filmed like super horror. Like okay. And then the rest of the movie, you're like, that
Well,
scene shouldn't have been there.
I think part of it is this is Scorsese, and I don't know.
Okay.
You know, Scorsese doesn't have a whole lot of
Yeah,
experience
it's
with this
6
sort of
movies
genre.
in one. That's right.
Yeah, so I think that's the problem with this movie is Scorsese not really being of this drama or of this genre. You know, it was like I kind of want to make a horror, but it's really got to be a suspense. But it's really this. But the script I wrote was more of this,
And you
that's-
can see that, yeah, and that makes sense because like from the dream sequences to the island sequences to the horror moments, yeah, it's super mixed
Well,
up.
see, that's the thing
Yeah.
is the movie itself. Like, think about it this way, right? The scene where he has the flashbacks of his wife that go into the lake, and those feel 100% different from the rest of the movie.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like those are horror scenes in a thriller, and that's where there's a little bit of imbalance where it's, you know, it's good. I like this movie a lot,
Mhm.
but there are certain things that lead to nowhere in this movie, like the missing prisoner. You know,
Yeah.
there's certain things that they just do in the movie to try to build a kind of a web of mystery for the puzzle, but isn't needed. That specific section for me was unneeded completely.
So this a movie.
Now you understand why they do it, though, right? Why there's a missing prisoner at all, and this is what ties into the ending being the actual ending. They had to have a missing prisoner to compensate for him missing.
Mhm.
So that whole mystery was created. She was, you know, because he was doing this. But but that's the thing is, was that the case, or did she actually escape? So that's where the two realities, because so this movie is very much it's a detective story inside a thriller, inside a horror movie about a insane asylum that shit doesn't seem right in. And Leonardo DiCaprio is a detective along with Mark Ruffalo brought in to kind of investigate what the fuck's going on.
The Hulk.
Yeah, you don't want to see me angry. Oh yeah, all 5'4" of you, huh? Fuck off. And that's the concept. The bulk of this movie is really slowly paced, kind of Leonardo DiCaprio walking with his determined, serious face, you know. But there's a lot of shit put into it to where if you don't pay attention, that two ending possibility is going to sway you one way or another.
Yeah.
That is true.
Um,
Budget 80 mil, gross 128 mil, gross worldwide 294 mil. Not
I mean, not a
Not
resounding
necessarily a
success. I mean,
success,
probably one of DiCaprio's lower hauls. I mean,
That
his
is-
movies
yeah,
are
that is
usually
true.
pretty big.
yeah, just opening weekend, it was 41 mil.
I mean, I'd have to imagine when you compare, like, I don't know what the numbers for The Departed were, but I'd imagine they're way better than this movie.
What's the name of The Departed? That's the only fucking thing that's stuck in my head. Every time I hear that.
That's
movie.
funny. The things that stuck in my head about that movie is everybody getting a fucking headshot in the end.
Yeah.
watching this movie, because I do remember, you know, what happened in this movie. I will say, and it doesn't ruin the movie, knowing the story of the movie and what happens at the end, watching the movie knowing that it's a different movie because you're watching all the points in the movie where they clearly know what's up. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
People around him.
one of the biggest ones is the very beginning. When he doesn't know how to put his holster in.
Yes.
And you don't, and when you watch it your first time, now I've seen this movie several times. You watch it your first time, and it's like, wouldn't a cop know how to do that? Like, why is he struggling so much? But then the movie does portray it kind of like, this is Leo, this is my rookie-ish partner. He's kind of, you know, like, so the movie does a fairly good job throughout of kind of skewing and blurring the lines. But in my opinion, when you get to the ending where they present the two possibilities, if you're paying attention, only one possibility makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of mystery of it goes away.
Did anybody notice a couple of things during the movie? One was where they're interviewing the people in the group, and she asked for water, so Ruffalo goes to get the water, and when he comes back and gives her the water, she grabs it and takes a drink. There's no fucking cup.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then when she puts it down, you can hear the cup hit the ground or the table.
I have read, I don't remember what I read about that. There was something somebody wrote about it that was basically signifying the fact that you're looking at it through DiCaprio's eyes. And in DiCaprio's eyes, they're all crazy. So to him, she didn't actually have water. That was part of her crazy. Okay. I'll look it up right now. Continue.
Well, that makes sense, because there are several scenes in this movie where they do through DiCaprio's eyes and you see something different. The biggest one that nobody can miss is when he comes back to the cliff and he sees a cigarette off the edge of the cliff, and he looks down and he thinks his partner jumped.
Yeah, there's a body there.
But it's not only that,
there's a body down there.
So here's what it is. Because he is haunted by a perpetual rain, which is the drowning of his family, he blacks out anything water.
Oh, okay.
So in his mind's eye, he doesn't see it because that's where the darkness is. So it's all part of his character locking away what truly happened, which gives you an even more insight of it being the actual ending.
Which makes sense when he doesn't want to swim across to the lighthouse at first until he finally is forced to do so. Like, that completely makes sense. Yeah. All of that makes sense.
So the whole idea with him is the water is his darkness.
That's like, see, that's just another layer of the movie. Like,
yeah, there goes Vet.
There's lots of stuff they hide in that fucking movie purposely so you don't catch it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What was the other thing that I found fucking hilarious? How much he doesn't like to play tag. when he was like, tag, and he chases the guy down.
I wouldn't want to play tag with that ass.
So
it looks like he slaps
He's
hard.
So angry.
I'm like, ow, you fucking prick.
But there was, to the point of like watching this movie and then watching it again. If you've seen this movie and you watch it again, it's cool seeing all the parts where they're fucking with him, or they know he's clearly.
Once you know what's up, it's like, fuck, okay. Like your second watch of these movies, you can then like kind of look for shit.
On the boat, like when he gets up, he walks past, he goes to walk out of the room after throwing up, and it's fucking chains of what are they called? Like shackles. It's chains of shackles.
Yeah.
Like, so he's clearly on a prisoner transport. Yep. Or a psycho transport.
Is he vomiting because he's seasick, or is he vomiting because his body's breaking down because he's surrounded by nothingness, because he doesn't acknowledge the water?
Yep. It's really cool to watch.
Or he's also detoxing, like they said, because he was on medication.
Yeah, maybe because they took him off, so that's all part of it.
It was cool to see when he came on the island as a marshal, and all the other officers around him are clearly
on edge.
Yeah, they have weapons because he's clearly
they're ready to
psychotic.
Go.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus.
That's why, like, is Clancy Brown in this? He's in this, right?
Is that Candy Cane?
No, the other. I don't remember if he's in this. Anyways, the main guard, I can't remember who plays him, but he's like the whole time like, fuck this guy, I'm ready to shoot him right now.
Oh, John Carroll Lynch. John Carroll Lynch.
Yeah, him.
Yeah,
he ready
was the
to
one
go.
Who married Mimi and
also not the warden, the one who meets him first.
Yeah,
he's the warden is actually he's a deputy warden.
The warden itself isn't that bad of a dude.
That's Candy
No, he's
Cane.
not. No.
He's the one
Like
from
considering
fucking
considering
Joyride.
considering he allowed
He's
What?
also from Silent Lamb. Silence of the
yeah,
Lambs.
Buffalo Bill, right?
Yeah. And he's also the voice of Candy Cane.
Yeah.
Are you there, Candy Cane?
And I think the warden should get a lot of credit for fucking allowing this whole goddamn thing to go on.
Yeah, and you clearly tell he didn't want it. He's like, this was a bad idea.
Well, see, I don't know. I think he did because he didn't want to lobotomize him because he's a former cop and all those things. I think the warden truly was hoping this would snap him out of it so that he didn't, because the end result's lobotomization. That's where they're taking him to. So I think the warden legitimately wanted to see if they could help him before they have to do the inevitable, because I think they talk about it a little bit, but he's been getting more violent and more erratic and just getting worse. And so they were hoping that this kind of new wave therapy culture shock thing would help him. And unfortunately, it only drove him deeper into the problem.
Well, my take on the end is he finally realized who he was, and he pretended he was Teddy again because he makes that quote. He says, what does he say? Would you rather be a monster or
would you rather live a monster or die
a hero?
Yeah,
or some shit. And that's where his fucking therapist was like, Teddy, like he was like, Mark Ruffalo's character was like, wait, does he know?
I think he does. I think he looks at the situation in that moment and realizes like, oh shit. He like has a moment of clarity of like, fuck. Like those are my doctors. Yeah. That's the
But I think he finally said, I want to die now, because
it also makes sense. I mean, look, everything he lost. Like what else is there for him?
He's done.
You know what I mean?
He's finally done. He's like, I'd rather die thinking I'm a hero versus, knowing that I shot my wife because she killed our kids. Which that fucking that scene was like fucked up.
And that's the thing, is that's the problem. That's the weird thing, right? Like if he's conscious in that moment, then he has accepted death. He's accepted that he's bad. He's gone. His demons are too powerful. So that's why I do still sit on that fence of like, maybe he didn't. But once again, the way he sits there and he kind of examines what's happening and the discussion happening and them walking towards him, and I do get the distinct feeling he understands where he's going.
I think he understood it. I think it was a moment of clarity. I feel like, though, if it didn't end where he was lobotomized, he would fall into switching over again. I feel like that would have happened.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, as soon as they put him back on the meds.
Yeah.
As soon as he couldn't create a false reality to escape from the real reality, you'd have whatever this movie behavior you had going on. Which is something I wish they would have explored a little bit.
Did anybody else like the fact that Casey Jones is in this too?
I do like Casey Jones anytime he's in something, to be honest with you.
Dude, I love Ben Kingsley in this movie. I love every movie Ben Kingsley is in. Like I've never had a problem with that actor.
Sexy Beast. The movie's awesome.
What was the character what was the character that he played in Iron Man?
The Mandarin.
I'm just an actor, man.
I mean, the whole cast in this movie is really good. I don't think anybody does anything bad in this movie. I'm not a huge Ruffalo fan, but he's really good in it. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I got a kind of a cool idea for a prequel, right? But you don't say it's a prequel, right? So like, here's the concept. Maybe you don't cast DiCaprio because of how old this movie is. You cast somebody who looks like him, but the age he would have been, and you show him in his cop career. Like you make it a fucking detective movie.
What leads up to
starring that character, and the last 20 minutes are him having his whole thing where he kills the wife and everything, and the very end shots of the movie are like the van, and then you see the overarching like Shutter Island or something on the whatever. Like I think that'd be really cool. You do a whole detective movie starring him, and then you end it boom. Like, and it would have to be out of left field. Like the movie could not allude to anything. It would have to be a straight. Maybe he's having some problems with the wife, shit like that. But you can't allude to the fact that she's going to drown him.
But do you show him in the war? Do you show him like on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Dude,
the way
those
to
body
do it,
scenes were so fucked
I think
up.
The way to do it is you show basically maybe those scenes a little bit extended, and then him getting out of the war, and then or you do a fast forward where it's like you show a little bit of the war, and then you bring him to the point where he's detective. So you show a little bit of war, and then even if you did it as a series, the only problem is how long do you want to elongate it? Because there's no lore to it now. The only lore to that character is the family death.
Yeah.
He has nothing else besides that and the war. Those are the only two things. So my thing is, if you do it as a series, you really have to fill shit in. And then the problem with the series is then it would have to become a Shutter Island series.
Yeah.
Because you're either doing one season of this pre-Shutter Island, or it would work if you did a 6-episode thing and then you made a Shutter Island series out of it, but then again, that can only go as far as until the movie.
Well, that's where I like how BBC does their series. They do like 4 episodes, and they're like an hour and a half episode each.
Miniseries.
Yeah, but that's how BBC does all their shit for like those big ones, and they'll only have like 4 episodes or 6 episodes.
I think the best example of that is Sherlock.
Yeah.
Sherlock, it's 3 episodes per season,
and they're like an hour and a half.
Each episode's an hour and a half. Yeah.
If anybody knows where to get the American version of Being Human, let me know.
I remember that.
Remember that show?
Yeah.
Unless I want to spend like $25 a season on Vudu and shit,
it's expensive. I
know.
know.
Not find that fucking show anywhere. I really want to watch it. Jen and I never finished it. I remember loving that show. Fuck.
I found all of Stargate for $400.
Tell me you didn't buy it.
No, my wife won't let me.
Good, she's right.
I thought you were about to say. I didn't tell my wife. I
would though.
Knows now, motherfucker.
I would.
Hell, I thought I wait for sales. I'm cheap as fuck. Like the only reason I have Home Improvement is because it's on sale for $39. Like that motherfucker was like 85 most times. I'm not spending 85 for Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Question for you guys. What did you think when you heard Ben Kingsley say, "Why are you all wet, baby"?
That was weird. Yeah, no.
I was like, what?
I'm always happy.
But even
anytime, my favorite word out of Ben Kingsley's mouth is cunt. You've never seen sexy, you fucking cunt. If you've ever seen that movie, please check it out.
Even when he reacted to like the security breach, when the guy's like, "I just went to the washroom," it's like, "Oh well, that's a security breach." Like that's his demeanor was like.
So True Detective is. I've heard the first season's great. I've heard the second season's not great. That is one of the shows on the docket for us to do after Rescue Me.
Didn't they get canceled and they brought it back real quick for the last?
Well, they had a 3rd season with. Was it Marshall Ali?
I don't know.
The guy who's playing Blade and shit. I don't remember who they had in it, but they did a 3rd season. Oh.
Clickety clack, clickety clack.
Fuck you. Yeah.
1 and 3 good, 2 bad. That says.
I believe it's Marshall, or how the fuck you say his name, Ali. I don't want to butcher it any more than I already have. I don't know what it's about, but yeah, they did 3 seasons of it. Like I said, that was a show that, like, when it first came out, the first season, like, there was lots of talk about it. And then season 2 was shit, they said, and then season 3, I guess, is good. I haven't watched. I haven't watched any of them. I thought there was only 2 though.
Is it still going, or did they finish it?
No, it's done. Unless they bring it back for another surprise season. I don't know. And here's the problem with this movie, and where I was wrong, and maybe it was right to do 7 up front, just so that's that that movie maybe did have more to talk about this one, because the problem with this movie, a lot of this movie is the slowness and the atmosphere and the little hidden things and the looks of the characters they give, and the Leonardo DiCaprio's performance is a big part of this film. The in-between, there's not a ton of story. I mean, realistically, what we've laid out is the story. Yeah. So now here's the question.
It drags on for sure.
My wife thinks that he's not crazy. My wife thinks that he is a cop, and they're fucking with him and trapping him on the island.
No, because from the beginning, this is just my understanding of it. From the beginning, he walks in. They keep making all these like these comments about how they're treating people, and they look at him like, "Do you get it yet? Like we're giving you this chance to realize."
Well, not only that, but the other inmates. look at him like, why the fuck should I talk to him? He's one of us.
Who recognize him.
Yep.
When they're asked to answer questions, they look at somebody one of the doctors or one of the nurses there
to find out what should they say.
Yeah.
So that I wouldn't say it gets better every time you watch it. I would say the first 3 times you watch the first one you're gonna miss shit that you wish you wouldn't have, just because it's little, shit. The second one you're gonna observe it, and then the third time go around, you'll understand it to the point where you'll enjoy it to that point of like you know everything. And you're going to watch it to then look for the other shit that you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, no, it doesn't get better, but it is a movie that does warrant multiple watches simply because there is interactions and different things that are meant for you to miss. It's one of those movies because that's all part of the story and the mystery and the atmosphere. It's a detective story. Detective stories are meant for you to miss shit. That's by nature. The whole point of it is the detective is better than you, the audience member, so things they don't miss in the beginning, you're gonna. And that's one of these movies. Scorsese really did mash in several different genres and styles.
Yeah.
Which I like the movie. I don't think I don't necessarily know if it hurts it. I would have liked more of the horror vibes. Just give him credit. Those dark scenes he does with the drowning of the children and some of the other shit are fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Earl Haley is in this movie, I believe. He is the guy
Rorschach.
Rorschach's in it.
The guy with the fucking
kinda.
knives to the face.
I would say Mulholland Drive's a little different in tone, but yeah.
I've not fully watched that one either.
If you haven't seen L.A. Confidential, that's an incredible detective movie.
Does that have Spacey in it too?
Yes, that's got Russell Crowe, Spacey. I mean, a bunch of fucking Guy Pearce, like a bunch of people. That's a straight
movies, and I think that's why I like this movie so much, because I do like true detective movies. I'm not talking buddy cop movies or dark buddy cop movies. I'm talking like
I do like buddy cop.
True detective movies. Like there's a mystery, you're along for the ride, and it's really cool when they throw a twist at the end, but it's solving that fucking mystery. Yeah.
7.
It's really good. I love those movies.
I didn't even think of that connection. We did 2 great detective movies kind of today. Dick Tracy. Yeah, Mumbles. Out of all the crazy characters in that movie, Madonna was the most ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's my goddamn opinion. Fuck Madonna. All right. Wrap up and then hot dogs. Go with Alex first.
When I first saw this movie, I really don't remember like how it all went. I thought it was more of like a horror genre type deal. And
it's poor marketing. They didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and I wasn't really interested in. But when I watched it today again, I watched these all fresh today. I enjoyed it. I liked it. DiCaprio always fucking pulls it off, with his acting, except for the beach. But I do like him in a lot of the shit that he does. The beach? That whole fucking shark scene. I'm not gonna die today. I fucking hate that shit. But I
Alex really hates Deep Blue Sea then,
huh? No, just his character fucking saying he's not gonna die today. But no, I thought it was well. I thought it was all put together well. This is gonna be another 4 for me. I did like it all, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's about
Giovanni, it looks like Leo's whispering sweet nothings.
What is match?
Hey, by the way,
match is about to go out.
By the way, I'm fucking crazy the whole time. So,
And he wasn't crazy to begin with. He became crazy because of what happened. It's fucked up.
It was.
That's fucked up. That's the worst. That's the worst.
A mental break, dude. Now
that's the worst.
The whole
kind
thing
of crazy
was she killed the kids because she had issues, and he lost it on her.
Well,
but she had issues though.
She has a bug in her brain that's scratching and ticking. And the way he says it, I was like, "Oh my god, it's kind of creepy now."
She wasn't. Am I wrong? Is the wife in here the ex-lover of Heath Ledger when he passed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So she's dealt with it.
And this was right after he died too. This is like a couple years, like 2 or 3 years after he died.
Yeah, I don't know how much I like her. Like, she's not bad. I think she was in the G.I. Joe with the first.
She was supposed to be in a story about his life, that was based on or inspired by his life and death. and she backed out because she couldn't take it, and it was about Heath Ledger. Yeah.
And why would you say okay for it? First place.
Yeah, that's kind
Well,
of.
I don't know. She
Probably
was
to maybe
trying to
keep some creative control or something like that.
Yeah.
If she's in it, she can go, no, that didn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
I do love this movie. I like true detective movies, and this is really interesting because it's a true detective movie in the vein of mental illness, because after the character snaps, he really becomes mentally unstable. Like he is gone clearly from the world, and it's really
well, he
cool
doesn't
to
even
see
acknowledge
that.
water after.
Yeah, yes.
I mean,
it's not real.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know whatever you're drinking, but stop it. It's water.
Had you not
I
doing
don't know what
research
water
on
is.
that, that was just something I picked up, and I was like,
I
holy
remember
shit.
reading it, but I couldn't remember what they said about it. But that was a recent thing. Somebody tweeted that out recently.
Yeah.
And then it spawned an article to be written or some shit like that.
Well, like I said, that it makes sense. Like all the scenes you watch through his eyes are just there's
the
something
distortions.
fucked up in it. Yeah,
they're his
crazy.
distortions of reality. Like it's easy for him to think his partner's dead because then that builds the idea that he is a cop or a detective and they are trying to trap him, and it is a thing against him where they're trying to silence the cops.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is he brings everybody, and if you notice, everybody who's around him, he knows to keep a certain comfort level. Like he doesn't recognize Ruffalo as his doctor, but he's comfortable around him.
Yeah.
He's comfortable around these patients. He's comfortable taking the reins, and he has no remorse for them. He has no empathy. If you realize that his character doesn't have empathy in this movie. So when he's talking to the patients, he's straightforward with them, just kind of like, give me the fucking information. He doesn't tolerate him because he's one of them. He doesn't feel bad because he has those issues.
Another thing
George
is his
thinking he's a colleague.
Yep.
Another thing is his he almost has like a hatred for mental ill individuals.
Yeah.
There's a certain repressed anger he keeps because he's not one of them. He's a detective, and I think that's part of fabricating the reality. I'm not one of these fucking loons. Like no, I'm a detective, and that's the whole thing. It ties back to his this is what I am. I couldn't be this because I'm this, and that's as he goes along. Every person he talks to, and I think the what ultimately ends is and they even express it by lobotomizing him in the end. But ultimately he can't solve the mystery, so he has no answers, so therefore they're out to get him. And I think what they were hoping for was he can't solve the mysteries, they can provide him the real answers, and he'll finally maybe accept them. And instead it was a complete opposite, and he went deeper down a rabbit hole that didn't exist. And that is also, there is the debate of, was he conscious of who he was at the end of the movie, which I don't know. I mean, if he is, then it's a different ending because he accepted death. If he isn't,
in my eyes, I think he did realize who he was, and that's why he said the words he said. Is it better to be a monster or to be?
I feel like he was lucid, but again, I do believe if they didn't lobotomize him, he would have went exactly back to the way he was.
So with that line of thought process, is he referencing that? Is he saying, right now in my mind, I'm the hero, I'm the detective, but I know that's going to change. I know I'm crazy. So I want to go out right now thinking I am the hero.
That's what I think he's doing. I want to go out thinking I'm the hero.
With that line,
that's what I think.
The logic of I'm going to go out right now in my mind. I'm starting to snap back to it. I'm starting to realize that I'm not so good of a person, and these things happened. So if I die, if I forget, if I go lobotomy today, I do it as a detective and a hero.
Yes. And that's,
but that means he's not 100% lucid though.
Yeah.
That means he's starting to kind of come back to who he really is, but still maintaining the fallacy of the world he has built for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a whole level of fucking crazy that is not even explored because he's in a psychosomatic dream world essentially, is lucid enough to understand that he's the bad guy in reality, but the good guy in here, so he wants to die in the story the bad guy.
Right.
Which, that's kind of a fucked up thing. Did you give your hot dogs, Giovanni?
Nope.
I forgot.
This is a 4.5 for me. I do really like this movie, for all the reasons Matt just explained. Do we know? Do we don't know? You don't know.
I'd love to see another movie in this vein. Like, I'd love to see Scorsese take another stab at something like this. But I don't think he will. I mean, isn't he the one who recently was talking shit about
Marvel?
the Marvel and then the Generation, because didn't he the Last Duel?
Yeah.
And
Or some shit like that, yeah.
And then he
or
bitched
he's
about
all,
the
yeah,
generation.
you're right. He is one of the ones that said Marvel is in cinema. But once again, the guy's how old? Cinema to him was when
He's
he
old
was a
enough
kid.
to where his fucking eyebrows are fucking bushy.
Like cinema to that guy was he spent $1 at the theater, and it was a theater where it was before you bought tickets to movies.
It was
bought
2 pence.
You bought a shilling. You bought two. You bought a ticket for the theater to enter, and then you went to whatever fucking movie you wanted to. True. Like so. I can understand him saying that, but then you see what was that movie?
You have to warm up the ticket before you walk in there.
What's got magic in it? What was that movie he did? I haven't watched it. With the with the De Niro and Pesci and them on Netflix.
Oh,
where they de-aged him. You gonna tell me that movie had less CG than a superhero movie?
Which one was it?
The one on Netflix where they're all old and then they go back in the story and they
de-age Irishman?
Them. Yes.
That movie's like almost 4 hours. I was blown away by how long that movie
am I supposed to?
I never watched it. I
haven't either.
Really good. I like it.
They spent millions and reshot things due to the de-aging process they have on the characters. That's got less CG than a fucking superhero movie.
No, that has way more CG.
Like if we're really going to be pulling hairs here, then who are you to say it's not cinema when your entire fucking movie, for a good portion of it, is CG de-aging?
Vet says it's good.
I do really want to watch it, but it's a time investment. And for that amount of time, I'd rather watch The Watchmen. It's always nice to see Joe Pesci. The only reason I want to watch it is to see Joe Pesci.
Nikki watched it too, huh?
Oh, that's because Joe's Irish.
She saw something.
Joe made him. Joe made her. Joe is like, no.
Oh, I got
We're watching the goddamn. I'm gonna watch it. If you want to watch it, join me. If not, I'm watching it 7 times this year.
Another Netflix one I want to watch is The Adam Project.
I've heard mixed, but I want to see it.
I do want to see it.
I don't know what that one is.
So one of the really cool things they did on Netflix was with Hateful Eight. How they actually broke that movie up into 4 episodes or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. I wish they would do that with that movie. Okay, 4.5. I'm easy on this one. I love this movie. My wife loves this movie. She's asleep, otherwise it'd get her hot
wake her up right now.
It'll be a 5. She really likes it. Wake up! Fire a gun in the air. It's blanks. Relax. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 4.5 out of 5 on this one. I really dig this movie. It is a fun movie to watch a few times and every now and then pull it out. You know what I mean? Like
Vet says do it.
Do it. No. That's for the Discord party. Yeah, easy 4.5 out of 5. And I think that's it for the night. You guys have anything? One thing we didn't talk about. What have you guys been watching besides this shit?
Oh, I'll go real quick. I finished Peacemaker. I don't know if I said that last week.
So amazing. I love it.
Finished that. I started watching Titans again because I do want to finish that. You guys should check it out. It's fucking it's good. It's gritty. It's all in there.
Titans.
It's supposed to be
the Teen Titans,
but it's Titans. It's on HBO Max.
Okay, I didn't even know what that.
Yeah,
was.
It's like a darker version.
All Warner Brothers
R-rated.
shit. I do want to start watching. I want to start watching that Harley Quinn show, the animated one.
Okay,
I've heard it's really well written. Yeah,
it's really well.
It's on the list, but like I've explained, at this point in my life, I have a hard time watching animated.
If you want to see a comedy comedy R-rated shit, watch Doom Patrol. That is very good. It's got Brendan Fraser as
I do want to watch that.
If you like Umbrella Academy, you'll like Doom Patrol.
Oh, you'll love Doom Patrol.
I don't know how I feel about female character being replaced by a male though.
Umbrella Academy.
Why does a woman
Season
have to lose
3?
her job?
Season 3.
You know, I was very disappointed in his Wesker, so I like number 1, but number 5 is the best in that show.
Vet says Doom Patrol's good. What about System of a Down?
The song 13 Years.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So
that was
it. We might be back. I might be back this weekend with the wife.
What are you guys watching?
It Takes Two. Oh yeah. We finally started Mandalorian. We're doing Rescue Me, of course. The idea is to do Mandalorian and then do Boba Fett after.
Yeah.
But we're also talking about re-entering The Office as like when we're burnt
That's a
out.
given, though.
When we're burnt out on other shit to watch that. But the problem is then that overtakes to the point of like, hey, do you want to watch Mandalorian? And it's like, Office.
Well, That's the other thing too, is I finished Big Bang Theory for like the 4th time.
I've never seen that. I've seen
I
episodes.
don't know.
really
I
good.
like it. I really like it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know. I'm a nerd. I've been a nerd for a long time. I kind of hate the populist nerd culture because it's not.
I understand
nerd.
where you're coming from. Like
Well,
Big
but you're
Bang
not the
Theory
nerd
in
that
the
they are.
beginning.
That they are in the show.
Big
They're
Bang Theory in the
geeks.
beginning, I liked. I liked that nerdism. By the end of it, that nerdism is popularized, and I don't like it anymore. Like it's like,
It's a desperate attempt of being PC and ruining plots for what? For Umbrella Academy? They have actually changed the lore of the show to suit her changing genders to a he.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've gone back and they've altered shit to kind of, I guess. Stranger Things is only getting 2 more seasons.
yep.
Well,
That's
yeah,
it.
they've already said they're going to.
That's because they're like 28 years old now. Like, they're no longer kids. All right.
Well-
Just real quick. Enough of the sexualizing of that poor fucking girl, including whoever her management is that is telling her to do it. She's 18 now, right? Good for you. I got so sick and tired of Millie Bobby Brown because of all the fucking beta male incel fucking perverts that couldn't get enough of her when she first debuted as 11. And it truly, that movie fucking pissed me off. Or the show pisses me off. I love the show, I really do. But I hate the weirdness they have of her. Like, if you saw any media about Millie Bobby Brown and in magazines and shit, they were really trying to make her more adult looking since she debuted. And I think she was what? Maybe 13 or so, 12 or 13 like the rest of them at the time. It was fucking disgusting. And that put a sour taste in my mouth. Thank God she's fucking 18 now. Because nobody will give a shit. That's the fucked up part, right? Kevin Spacey's a piece of shit. But the media, the production company, whoever her handlers are, sexualized her from the moment she was in Stranger Things and out. But I'm supposed to not like Baby Driver because Kevin Spacey's in it. It's like, that's part of the problem, I say, if we haven't gotten rid of the poison.
Hey, everybody loves Michael Jackson. He raped some boys. I stand by that.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
He did.
all signs
stand by
point to
it.
yes. And you still have R. Kelly defenders. You still have Michael Jackson defenders. You've got Roman Polanski defenders. You've got Weinstein defenders, believe it or not. You've got defenders for every heinous fucking act ever committed. It's ridiculous.
That's like my youngest. She goes, "I want to be famous," and I was like, "No, you don't. Not at this age.
Don't.
But you don't want to be
That's
famous.
why
You
you're
want
not-
money. Learn to distinguish the two.
Yeah,
Money doesn't need fame. You know, you get money if you go to the school, get the right degree, do well, or skip college, do a trade if you want, get good at it, make money that way.
So
Fame is not the way.
My youngest, behind her back, created a YouTube and TikTok account, and I was like, "Wait, how the fuck did you do that?" But of course, I know how she did it. But I was trying to, go to her, to get it to tell me. And she goes, "Well, I just want to know what it was like to be internet famous." And I was like, "No, you cannot do that." I was like, because all those people are fucked up in the head. And it took her a while to realize that. And I started fucking every time I grabbed the fucking computer and I went into all her emails. I started becoming that parent, and it was fun. I mean,
It's always fun.
Okay, so Vet just said that Gilligan's Island is supposed to be the 7 deadly sins, right?
oh really?
So I just happened to Google it because it is intriguing to me, and I found a very poorly made website, but
Is it angelfire.com?
no, it's don't go to it. It's probably spam. But they say most obvious is the professor who fits pride, and for the sin of envy, it's Marianne.
Okay.
For number 3, and who could doubt for the moment, Ginger is lust. Now you had to be of age to watch this show to get any of this, by the way.
Yeah.
What kind of person takes a trunk full of money on a 3-hour cruise? Mr. Howell gets my vote for greed. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Certainly we can further eliminate Mrs. Howell from the equation by connecting her with sloth. She did jack shit during her many years on the air. She was a lazy bitch.
She was.
This leaves anger and gluttony, either of which the skipper had no shortage of. And then Gilligan is Satan. Which makes sense if you think about Gilligan was always the one to sabotage them. If this is hell or some sort of dimensional purgatory, Gilligan is the one he always makes sure they never get off the island.
Yeti is the sister page.
Interesting. Comes with a UFO hunter.
Don't you
sticker.
love when like they tie like really dark shit into old shows?
Well, I mean, there was some really dark shit going behind the scenes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Be fucking real here.
I used to love watching Gilligan's Island though.
Giovanni, what are you watching?
The Blacklist, and I've come to
Still?
terms with it. So I'm
It's
I'm
no
okay
longer
with
why you're
it
watching
now.
it. It's now
Yeah,
my
it's-
goal is to finish this.
Yeah, it's
bitch.
just I'm gonna finish it.
I'm gonna finish.
I'm starting
all over your face.
I was gonna say Pacemaker. I'm starting Peacemaker tomorrow.
I keep
so
saying
we'll start that.
Peacekeeper because at the same time we were watching it, I was playing Dying Light 2, and there's a faction in there called Peacekeepers. And I felt like an asshole. I kept mixing them up like a fucking dipshit.
And I'm watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm on season 11. Powered
I gotta
through the hell out
continue.
of that.
That's a good show.
I'm only on the first season, like
If
episode
you're-
4.
If you're a big fan of the show, check out their podcast.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
they go through episodes and they review them and talk about it. It's like an hour long an episode.
Okay.
That's
Really
awesome.
good. It's Glenn, it's Mac, Dennis, and Charlie for most of them. But yeah, they basically just go over it. The podcast is actually really good. I will find
The
myself
podcast coming out today.
because you know what it is. It's surprisingly entertaining because you like.
Did
there
you
is-
start it today or?
No, that's been out for a while.
Oh,
The new episodes must, but like the thing, they do get trashed, and not only that, but like you see the real people, and they even talk about like the characters were kind of us, but over time they became more of us, and you hear some of the behind the scenes, and you don't get that much with those guys. Like there's not a whole lot of interviews with them and shit like that, so it's nice
So-
to kind of hear shit.
so they
That's
all-
where I found out Charlie was 46 goddamn years old.
so they're all kind of borderline
Holy
racist.
shit, he's 46.
Hey,
No.
I'm fucking 46, you fuckers.
Yeah, well, you don't look as good as Charlie Day either.
Yeah, like Charlie.
What?
Charlie does not look 46.
No fucking way. No fucking way. I don't look as good as Charlie Day, and I'm a decade younger. Fuck off.
Fuck
Well,
you guys.
DeVito really came in as a wild card because when they cast him, it was like he's not going to do any of the shit we want him to do, and he fucking goes into it full on.
The shit he does later on.
He's
in
got to
the
get a
season,
paycheck.
You're like, holy
I don't know.
fuck.
Does DeVito
He's like,
really
I don't
need
care.
to work right
I'll
now?
fucking do
No, he
anything.
doesn't.
Bet called you an abuela.
Oh, come on, man. No, he abuelo.
Oh, abuelo.
Grandpa.
Sorry, I saw
Grandpa.
an A. My vision's
Hey,
blurry.
Vic.
I don't have much sleep.
Oh my god, that was funny.
Asshole.
I don't know why we're repping other people's fucking podcasts on this one, but fuck it, go check it out. It's fun. It's what I enjoy. I like watching it. I fall asleep to it. That's what I end up doing now. I just put on like a wrestling, like they have all these wrestling podcasts where it's like we're going over the
Oh,
Starcade of this, and I fall asleep to it. Next
that's
thing I
another
know,
one I started
7
watching.
different
Dark Side of
goddamn
the
videos.
Ring. It's actually really good.
Yeah,
It is,
I
yeah.
gotta
It's
finish
really
that
good.
up. Yeah.
Watch the Chris Benoit episodes if you want a fucking depressive psych.
Oh, so hard.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Matt.
Matt.
Thanks for sticking around for all 3 streams once again, man. You and your lovely spouse.
Yeah.
Stargazer crafting was is 18. They've been together 20 years, married 18. Which
Jesus.
goddamn do I
That's
feel
good.
old. We've been together 13, and I'm like, we've been together 40, right? 45? How long? That's my
For
running
me,
joke.
it's
I don't think she likes
it's 17, 16 with my wife.
it. Y'all are killing it with the commitment.
5 and 7.
How long?
7 years together, 5 years married.
I believe
Yeah.
Shay and Lewis are also 11 or 12 years. Because they got together the year or 2 after we did. Jen and I did.
It was the same. I think it was the same year. His first date was when you were there.
No, I was there. I don't remember what month it is because Jen and I met first started dating in March, and it was winter, so it might have been maybe later that year. Because we met in March, and then when Shay and Lewis, really fucked up that I could say I was on Shay and Lewis's first date, but when Shay and Lewis's first date happened, it was cold. There was the ice skating rink. Also,
And funny thing is, go ahead.
with the wife, also, I got in trouble that day for doing nothing. For just being myself, right? Lewis Lewis and Shay, I don't think had met prior. This was the first time meeting. She
Yeah.
brought a friend with. The friend was digging me. And boy, did I hear some shit about it when I got home. I didn't do nothing. I mean, and it was to the point if we got in the car and even like the friend was like, who's this? This is good music. And Jen did not like that. Her her peacocking started to happen immediately, and like the feathers filled the car.
Another thing is the three of you, Giovanni and Lewis, all met your spouses from via
Okay, Cupid.
dating services,
Okay,
right?
Cupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back when it was basically Facebook for people who wanted to get together, and now it's like Tinder Light, I think.
It was funny
I
when 2 years into my wife and I being married, I emailed OkCupid. It was like, hey, I met my girlfriend on your website, who is now my wife. And they're like, can we use your story? I'm like, no.
So why did you tell them? Why did you tell them?
Here's the thing. You can use the story, but we have to talk about the spousal abuse. Wait, what? She hits me a lot.
We have to talk about how much money I'm going to make.
Right? If you're going to use this face, I want to see some dollars.
Farmersonly.com.
Oh boy. But anybody meet their spouse on J-Date?
Oh, Jesus.
I actually met my wife at work when she hated me, and then we became a couple. Yeah, oh yeah, we became a couple. She thought I'd like somebody else in the job.
So she was
And then-
peacocking.
Yeah, and then she got jealous when somebody tried to buy me something. A customer tried to buy me something, and my wife was like, "No." At the time, she wasn't even dating me. She goes, "You can't do that. That's my friend," and that's what she said. But that's not what she
Then
meant.
Alex knew it was love.
Yep.
You know what's fucked up is Jen used to come. So Jen, we live on the south side now. We live 15 minutes, 20 minutes from where she used to live when we were dating. And I lived on the north side. So she would literally at night drive.
It's about an hour drive. Yeah.
Well, at night it was like a half hour at that
It's
time.
about a half hour.
It's
at
15
night.
miles, whether no matter how you cut it, city streets or expressway. She would drive 15 miles just to come in to buy those 4 for $20 fucking movies just to come see me. I remember the first time she did, she came in with a friend, and it was mixed signals for me. I remember being like,
Was it the big dude?
it was the short. No, it was the guy. His name was Tim. He was a short black guy.
Oh, okay.
And
I remember the big black dude that she used to hang out with.
oh,
The white van.
Yeah, we're
With
not
the
going
white
to talk
van?
about that piece of shit.
Oh. Well, the white van. The
Nothing-
white van.
Nothing.
The white van.
He
Was
did. He was so fucking fat that he had to have a loader van with a couch in it.
What?
I mean, the guy. I mean, I'm big, right?
It was a white van.
This guy was like 800 fucking pounds, and the last time I dropped in on him at all, right? He was trying to get into the porn where people feed him.
Whoa.
What?
His
The
goal,
gluttony porn.
his goal, much like Homer Simpson, was to eat himself to death. And you know what? I really hope he
Or
did.
seven with the spaghetti.
Well, he was
Glutton.
nothing happened between like him and Jen as far as or us negatively, but he was just a total piece of shit. Yeah, he's he's big and like the motherfucker broke my chair. He sat in it and you hear it pop. I'm like,
Vet said we need a podcast on him.
oh, Jen? No, Jen. So it was Jen's friend. They went to grammar school together. And he was an alright dude at
Excuse me.
first, and then like when you know, it's one of those people that like you learn more about them, and you're
Yeah.
like, nah, this guy's fucking, I'm not feeling it. And then like we lost track of him because Jen and I were both like, yeah, nah, he's going a weird direction. And then he was posting on Facebook about the racist pigs because he was at Lollapalooza or one of them and brought every drug you can think of and was having an overdose and. Rather than he didn't get arrested, by the way, and he had pills in his pocket to put him away for a decade. Rather than checking him, they gave him medical because they were worried about his safety. Oh, this is do you remember when he showed up on Ridiculousness?
No. Are you gonna pull it up?
Let me see if I can find it. Now, he showed up on Ridiculousness because he was, I think it was from this place he OD'd at. He was high off of his ass. And I'm not talking a fat guy. I'm talking a grotesque guy. Shirtless, dancing on the grass. Let's see if I can find it.
Nice.
Muting.
Vet said must. You
This
must
is
pull
how
it up.
we're exiting the video. One for you and one for us.
Oh God, I fucking love last podcast. That was fucking great.
I don't honestly know if I'm going to be able to find it. It's MTV, so they've probably got it behind. I don't know what episode. I might be able to. I might be better off just like looking it up.
If it's MTV, yeah, they may be.
I told Matt about one for you, one for us when we were on the stream, and he was like, "What? I don't understand. Why would you want to see that?"
Okay.
The toenail being pulled off and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then the elephants. You found it or no?
I have.
Yes. Yes.
I am having a bit of a moral dilemma.
If you should show his face.
It's almost like a video game where it's like a heel, my good guy here. No, I mean it shows his face. There is no like they don't know who he is. So he was at Pitchfork Festival.
Be the heel.
This is 2014. Real quick. Real fucking quick. I feel bad enough.
I'm watching. Holy shit. Dude, I think I saw this.
Yeah, this video ended up on Ridiculous. I remember we used to watch it at that point, and it came up on the episode, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Is that who we think it is?
He's rolling hard, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's high on every fucking thing you can think of, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I ended up Googling it, and sure enough, it was out on the YouTubes. This is a friend of ours who I had lots of discussions with him and told him, like, you need to slow your shit. Like, you're a big guy, you're doing all these drugs. And then he lost his teaching job for this video.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Jesus.
Good Lord.
Well, now I feel. I think he was dancing, but he was so high, I think he was just enjoying the feel of the grass.
He probably thought he was standing and doing like flips.
And that was the other thing, is he was a teacher for a suburban district. And I remember having arguments with him because he was one of those teachers that was an agenda teacher where he could teach his bias, he would, and he would openly say it.
Oh, I don't like that.
And him and I had lots of arguments about that, which did somewhat lead to, it's one of those things. You start figuring out who a person really is, and you don't jive with it, and it became kind of like, well, fuck you, I don't really want to deal, like, you're not part of my spectrum. But yeah, I can't believe I just showed that. Poor guy. Shouldn't have took something all right, everybody. That's a weird thing to show on the pod.
I know, that's how we end the video. That's great.
One for you, one for us. Is that what we're gonna start doing? No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna end up doing
Just
like
kidding.
the 6 months from now, the podcast just showing YouTube videos of fucked up shit. Like, how did we get here? All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody. UTAVAF vet. You've been around all fucking day. You and your wife. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Nikki, thank you so much. Crash, get your ass in the Discord. Everybody who watched tonight, from the bottoms of our heart, we do appreciate
Vet too. If Vet, join us in Discord if you want, man.
If you'd like. I don't know if I'm gonna get hammered tonight. We'll see. I fucked up, didn't I? Wait, I can't have it. Okay. Check out the YouTube. Once again, that is where you will see all of our old episodes of the show. So every episode's out there, except for this one won't be right away because I got to push it over to live. But we're all of the older ones are out there. Check them out. We've done Arnold Schwarzenegger months. We've done 2 Christmases. We've done 2 Halloweens. There's a bunch of other shit on the YouTube as well. I just posted a new episode of Nerd Talk, which is my own thing, just talking about shit that I kind of like and I'm interested in. You might be too.
You could see things like Alex hasn't had a beer all year.
Alex hasn't had a beer all year. You have the Willy Wonka trailer, the little horror movie my wife and I made, as well as our mukbang. There's plenty of shit out there, as well as most of you,
Isn't there a Giovanni video enjoying
there's
chips?
there's a clip. Yeah, we've also played it on here because it's just fucking great. But seriously, guys, Bill, I see you lurking. Thank you for watching, everybody. Alex and I will be back Tuesday. Yeah, I can't even call it an indie film because the budget was I bought a new camera. But check it out. We filmed it Starved Rock, Illinois, Utica, Illinois, Starved Rock National Park. But there's a bunch of stuff out there, as well as Tuesday we'll be back live for a stream in the morning.
I liked it.
I don't know what we're going to be streaming, but we'll be live. Keep, tell your friends if you do enjoy, spread it. Let everybody know We're trying to build this community. Nikki, who is in the chat with us, is a part of it. Trying to build this community of streamers, different content creators. That's kind of the idea. So follow her as well. You'll see our co-streams Wednesdays and Fridays. But as the summer goes on, we're going to figure out that schedule. Stick with us. We got plenty more fun coming up. April, we're looking at next week. Actually, is going to be Candyman and Ghostbusters.
Okay.
The
Gotta
new
write
one.
that down.
April, we've got a
The new
couple other
Ghostbusters.
decisions to go. I'd like to do the Back to the Future trilogy, but there's we're gonna have definitely the Batman review will be in April because I want to watch it. Spider-Man: No Way Home coming up, things like that.
At some point, we do have Scott Pilgrim and Free Guy coming up.
Scott Pilgrim and Free Guy. So stick with us. We'll let you know what we're doing at the beginning of the week. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna say goodnight. I'll let these two do it themselves.
Bah.
Y'all take care.
Love you.